What's going on, Sky Masters? We are going to be covering the No Man's Sky save editor for the Prisms update 2021. I know we've done these videos before, but these things change, and I feel like it'd be prudent for me to redo a video. And I am going to cover the basics on how to go get this product, what you can do with it, basically a level what this thing is very powerful for, not just for cheating, but for backing up saves and having a peace of mind. You should not be scared of this tool. This thing is your friend. If you're an anti-cheater, it is still your friend. This thing can get you out of situations. So with that being said, I didn't use this thing until I was 500 hours in. When the next build came out for No Man's Sky, I was falling through the freighter floors and I was getting stuck inside of the walls. I didn't like multiplayer. I wanted to get out of that situation. I was super upset. I had just found some things that I really wanted to keep. And I had seen the save editor and I'd seen people doing these cool things, and I was very reluctant to. And ever since I have gotten the save editor and kind of broadened my mind on No Man's Sky, it has been a way better experience, and I feel peace of mind with having this tool in the background. So what you're going to want to do is, I have a link in the description down below with this GitHub Goat Fungus No Man's Sky save editor. I love saying Goat Fungus for some reason. Whenever anybody asks about it, I have to tell you that you need to go over to Goat Fungus and go check it out. Just a cool 2 words to say. So you're going to come over to this link that I gave you, and you're going to see this page here. What you're going to want to do, you got all these options and it looks confusing, and this is where the first thing where people might go, I don't know what to do, this is too complex, I'm getting out of here. Because they're kind of vague with, sites are just vague these days. But what you're going to want to do is hit this green code tab button right here, and then you're going to see that you have some options here. What I'm going to do is download the zip. Now, a zip is a file package. If you don't know, you need to have a program on your computer to unzip things. You should have one already. I'm just trying to cover everything so people don't get stuck. Go get 7-zip or whatever it is. Go look up there's a whole bunch of free ones. They're all over the place. I think whatever I use, I think it's 7-zip or something like that. There's many different programs out there that you can use. iZark is the one that I use, as we can see right here. And let me throw this back open here, and you can see the save editor. Once we open that package, the zip package, the zip file there, and you can see that we have another file here called the save editor. You can go ahead and unzip this in a folder on your desktop, or you can just take this and drag it over. And I'll show you where I have mine now that we have this. Okay, so I have my whole No Man's Sky thing is down here on the bottom. I do a lot of different things, so I like to have them quick. They're usually on the other screen, but for this purpose, I have them right here on my middle screen so everybody can see what I'm doing. We're going to open this up. Now, this save editor, when you open up the save editor for the first time, this is what it looks like. But if you've had the save editor for a while, the save editor will prompt you that there is an update. And now what you're going to do is go back to that site where Goat Fungus is at and download that file. And then once you open that, once you unzip it, you just take all the files. You can take all the files that you have, like these files right here, from not the folder files, but the actual files. Actually, you can just take this one right here and stick it over here. But you can take but it needs to be replaced because they do update this every so often. But this jar file right here, this executable jar file, is the one that you have to, this is the one that actually does the program. And this is where all the magic happens, so to speak. So when there is an update, you go re-download Goat Fungus and you replace this executable jar file. Okay. So what else is in this here? We see these folders up here that look kind of cool. Screenshots, I'm not quite sure. I've never used that before. I have my own screenshots for other things. I don't know if this is screenshots for what's in their files. Okay, screenshots of what you can do. Okay, that's what they're talking about. This sort of tutorial stuff there. Exported. Okay, so I can save my ships and stuff like that. So there's presets you can do within it, and this is where they're saved. That's kind of cool to know. And then there's backups. This is a big tool. So once you start using this product, the save editor here, every time you make a save, there is going to be files that are in the backup. And you can see how they're dated right here. And this is really cool because what if I wanted to go back to a certain time? And I have backed this up before. So sometimes if I've changed things on my computer, I'll take this whole file right here and I'll have a backup of an older date. And they go back to, I think I have them all the way back to 2017. So if I wanted to go back to some weird planet from back then, I could do that. I used to do that for some certain reasons, and I've just stopped because I don't look back. I keep going forward now. But this is very handy if you have a problem or there's an issue. You messed with the files or something. I've had the game corrupt on me only once, and I was really asking for it, so to speak. So there's a lot of wiggle room here, and if you ever have a problem, you just go back to your previous backup. Now this is where they're saved. Now you do the backup within the actual No Man's Sky save editor. We're going to go into that right now. Okay, so this is your main UI. This is what's going to pop up first. And you see it says some information up here. It's telling you that it's on Prisms. Right now, if you were out of date, it would say something right here. You need to go update to the latest version of Goat Fungus save editor. And you would say, okay, I'll do that later. Or you do it now, or whatever it is. We have file details. We have a save path. This is telling you where it is looking for things. You can open file path too. I believe it does it automatically for you if you're in there. But if you want to find your files, you can come in here to choose path, and most of your files will probably be most of you guys are going to have yours on the C drive. I believe mine is in mine's on my H drive. I think it's usually will find this for you and pull it out, but if not, you need to go to your Steam location, and it'll be Steam Apps Common No Man's Sky, and then that's what you would put into this right here. Maybe I'll put that in the description down below to the file tree on how to find it, but I think that's pretty cut and dry. If you have any issues with that, I will put that that in the description, but it will be different for everybody because I put mine on my H drive, so this can be different from person to person. But that's how you find it and how you direct the save editor to the file which you'll be changing. Okay. Now beyond that, the first thing you need to do is select, after you do that, and it knows where to look. If you come down to game slot, you need to pick the file that you want to manipulate. So here we can see I have 3 main saves within my game. First tip here is that these will always be in order right here. It'll always be slot 1, 2, and 3. When you go into the game always shows you the one you manipulated last. The one that has the more recent date will be on top. I hate that. It gets kind of confusing. So when you're bouncing back in between these two, just remember that this is always in order within the game. It's always going to tell you the last date first. So that order changes all the time in the game and not here. And we can't name them, so you need to really pay attention. If you have some dates that are really close together, if you're copying things, which we'll talk about here in a minute, it can get kind of confusing. But for here right now, we're just going to go into my main normal save. This is my main dog right here that I use all the time. So now that I'm in here, we're in the save editor. I'm in my normal slot number 3 save, and I am manipulating that save file right now. Underneath this, you can see the save 5HG. Now, this is where if you've had a problem and you want to go back in time, say you just had an issue and you want to go back to your last save previous to the one where everything got corrupted, what you would do in here is you would drop down this file right here, this file tree, and you can see that these backups, these are all the backups that were in that backup folder. Now, if I wanted to go here, now I can click on this too. Now, so when I click on this right here, you'll see that oh, I didn't mean to save changes. Oops. So actually, when I hit this, so okay, so let's talk about that. So I just made a mistake within the save editor. Now, if I go to exit out, it's going to say, do you want to save changes? I guess no, the changes didn't get saved. All right, so we're going to go back into normal. I was trying to show you the dates on here will change too. So if I want to, you know, preview the dates that are on these files, I can click on it, and I should see a date down here. See the date and time down here has changed. And then if, like, say if you wanted to go all the way back to here, what's the oldest one in this file? This would be November 4th, 2020, but I don't want to go back there. So we can go back to my recent save, and that's where it's at. Now, let's get into what we can do within it real quickly. I'm kind of gonna go through this as fast as possible because I know it's been already long-winded, but you're here to learn the save editor. It's a powerful tool. Take some time. Exosuit is our first tab. And you can see that you can see everything that we have in our Exosuit. Our tabs for the different sections of our Exosuit, like the technology and cargo, are here. You can see my technology there and my cargo here. Resize inventory, you can do customs, but there's another button that I like to hit that's over here on the top. Once you go into a save, you have some more options in these top two tabs. So what I like to do when I come in to mine, just because I am one of those cheaters, so I like to expand all my slots and inventories and everything, and instead of doing it over here resizing, this one tool will do it all at the same time. So you can go to edit, and we'll talk about these here in a minute, but these are kind of really cool tools down here on the bottom. So recharge all, this will recharge all your technology. Refill all stacks, this tops you all off on everything that you have. Recharge all your base planters if you have them. Expand all inventories, so you've got some new ships that you've acquired lately and you don't want to go through the hassle of expanding everything. So that's going to give you 48/48s all the way. Enable all slots, so some things aren't enabled, so now we've enabled them, like ship slots and things like that. So repair all slots in technology, boom, you're all ready to go right there. Those are the quick things to fix a lot of your issues and set you up. Very easy, a lot easier than coming in here and enabling and doing everything one at a time. Saves you some time, does it all. If you want to do one at a time and that's your thing, you can do it. I'm just trying to show you your options here. Okay, so we're still in Exosuit. We have health, shield, energy, units, nanites, quicksilver, boom. That's probably a lot of you guys are here to change that. You can come over here and change these numbers. There is a limit. So if you're just wanting to max everything out, what I would do is just come over here and go 9999, 9999, 9999. We can just do this, and the game is going to give you whatever the maximum is. So that is you maxing everything out right there, if that's your thing, or you can put in custom numbers. Okay, so adding things. So you're going to get a different menu within here. Let's go to our general slot right now. It is also very cool that you can kind of just drag these things around. So if I want to drag these around and organize my folder or my inventory, this is very cool that you can do that. You can right click on things and you get some menu options here. Repair all slots, item details. You can learn some things about these details, which is very cool on some items. Move items, fill stack, delete items, those are your options. Okay, on a square that has something already. Now if we pick a slot that doesn't have something on it already, we get the top options, and then we get another option down here that says add item. This is a very powerful tool. So we're in add item. You can do a search. If you type it in, don't hit enter because it will back you out. What you want to do is you want to type it in. Say you're looking for stasis devices. You can probably just type in stasis and then click the search. Don't hit enter, and then it's going to give you stasis devices. Now, we have some different categories in here, and you're going to want to just play around and get yourself familiar. I'm not going to go through all these, but you know, this is going to be very time consuming for you. You get to see it all. Very cool. Now, this menu will change depending on where you're at. So if you're in general, you can add some things, but if we're in technology, it's probably going to change. Let's go ahead and just delete this item, and I want you to see. So we can see, let's back out of here. If we come down in here, we only have a technology options there. Our options have been limited because we are in a limited menu in our suit inventory. So you're just gonna have to play around with that. This gets really cool, procedural. You can go down and get all S classes. You get you can find in curiosities all the illegal ones. Very cool. And let's see, cargo is gonna have kind of just like the first one. So your regular inventory here. You're gonna have to play with that as well. So moving things around and adding things. There you go. Now you're covered with that. Multi-tool, same thing. We can have multiple multi-tools. We just switched tabs right up here. So we were in Exosuit. Now we just jumped over to multi-tool. I clicked here. And we can see that we only have one slot right now for our multi-tools. I'm not a big multi-tool collector, but if you were and you click down here, you could select different multi-tools. Underneath that, we can change the name of it. I haven't named mine yet because I'm just not like that on my multi-tool for some reason. Change the class instantly. We can change the seed. So if you have something that you like, you can take that and share or whatever, or generate random ones. We have our damage over here. Again, just like in your suit, you can take your numbers out and give this thing some crazy damage. I don't know why I hadn't done that yet, but bam, there it is. And then, so if you like a gun that you have and you like the setup of it, you can go and save these. We were talking about doing presets. So I want to export this. And this is going to export this into our export folder that was out there in the beginning. And we can just say weapon 1. I'll just call it 1 because I'm simple like that. And now I can call that up. So like I do have these extra slots and I say I want to import 1. I can just say import weapon 1. It says an error occurred. So I need to go open these things up and open the slots, I guess. And maybe that will help me, I guess. But I've gotten this error before on several different things. If there's more of an error, just keep going at it with different styles and see what happens, because I have a ship that gives me an error when I try to import it, and I don't know why. Maybe it's something that I've done for adding what I've added. I'll have to look into that, but it does work most of the time, just not when I'm doing a video. So, on that, we've just covered multi-tools. Let's go into ships. Now, ships are, we'll see the same thing pretty much on the next few tabs that we go through. Ships, you can see that I've got my 0. There were 5 slots here, and you can choose which one you want to manipulate. And same thing with suits over here. Adding and things like that are the same exact thing with the Exosuit. The same rules apply. You're going to get different menus in general and technology, so you're just going to have to play with that. And same thing with the multi-tool here. You can choose which kind. So if you want a living ship or exotics, you know, bam, there you go. You're in it. You can change the class, you can change the seed, you can use old colors, and down here again you can change these damages to whatever your heart's content. And if you want the max, just put in a bunch of numbers and hit the next one, and it will go to the highest value that you are allowed to have. Freighters, same thing here. You got your freighter. You can name them. You got your type here, and you got your home seed, you got your model. You can go look up these seeds. They have an exchange thing for these things. For all items in here, you can go find hyperdrive. You can check that out. Very cool for this is the technology. I do believe they have some of the older things that you can add in here. So if you want your capital to have this ridiculous amount of hyperdrive, you can add these kind of cool technology things in here. And I think some of it is things that that are not, they were in the game originally and they took them out. Maybe they took them out again. Anyway, that's cool to play with if you haven't already maxed out your ship with the save editor for warping. I hardly don't. Mine is just a ship storage and something convenient that I pull into the system when I'm there. Frigates. Now here's something cool and something that has changed, especially with the Normandy update. If you want the Normandy, here's your chance to do it. You can see I have a few down here as well. So you on the left hand side in frigates, you can see that you have your whole fleet over here, and you can click on one and start manipulating all the attributes over here, which is kind of a lot. So you can see that I've picked number 4 here, and we can see it's an S-class combat, but let's say I want that to be a Normandy. I can change that to a Normandy. I can also change these stats to where, you know, these guys are going to come back every single time without any problems. So that's how you manipulate this. Very cool. I like that. You can go down all of them. It's going to be the same menu for whatever you have. So there it is. You can copy them too. So like if I didn't have these already, let's say I want to delete that one, we can hit OK. And I have my Normandy here. I can copy that Normandy and it's going to add another one for me. So if you do one ship that you like, you can just sit there and hit copy over and over and have a whole bunch of Normandies or a whole bunch of a fleet that is just going to kick ass. So there it is. Frigates. Vehicles. Here we go. So enable slots. You can't enable these slots. So vehicles are something weird like that, and they have their own kind of rules. You can see that we're kind of limited on our menus here, so we can pick which one that we have over here, and then we can manipulate over here. Same rules apply for add items. You have different categories that you can do. You need to go in there and check that out and figure out what you want. Bases and storage. This is kind of cool for manipulating your inventory, moving things around, and here again, adding inventory is let's right click and add. You're gonna have to go through that. There's a lot of stuff in there. So items, backup, restore, move base computer. I don't know what this is. You guys tell me. I don't know what move base computer means. As far as I know, you just can't move a base computer. This doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, you can come into your storage in here, and you can see that you have chests 1 through 9. And you can manipulate your storage. I think that's cut and dry. I don't know what these siege, base NPC, armor, overseer. Okay. All right, so you can change those if that is your thing. Discoveries. Now, this is getting into two key tabs that are going to be kind of neat. And there's something that you can do here to make sure that you have all items. So what you're going to do here is go to add technology. So there's known technology, known products, known words, and known glyphs. To get all these items, we're going to go to the first section here, to technology. We'll hit add technology, and I think you can control A it. So control A it, and that will select everything that's in there, and then hit add. Now you are ensured that you have added every single technology to your your item in the menu. So the blueprints have been added. So do the same thing for known products. You can come over here and hit click on it, hit control A, add products. Oops, control A on this menu, and then hit add. Now you've added them all. Same down here, you can hit learn all, and you can hit all the glyphs. So now you have all the glyphs and everything open. So if you've had to wipe your game, you're coming over from the PS4 or Xbox, boom, you're already back up to status of where you were at very quickly, probably within 10-15 minutes of using this save editor. Milestones and reputation. You can come in here and change some certain things. There are some things that seem like they don't go back, but anyway, you can come in here and manipulate this on your own grounds. I don't really mess with it too much. I know I've messed with some and they've kind of reverted back, especially with Steam and stuff like that. I don't think you can trick too many things, especially for some of these milestones. But you can come in here and do manipulate them. They're possible. You have to play with this on your own. This is something that you just read and manipulate on your own terms. Okay, so we just went through the whole file tabs on everything. That gets you started and going, and now you have this understanding of the save editor. It is your friend. It backs things up. It gives you peace of mind. Even if it's just sitting there doing nothing, it is backing up all your saves and is just waiting for you to have a problem and be there to solve it for you. With that being said, let's go into a couple advanced things really quick, and I'm going to give you a last key pro tip and I guess a gem at the end of the video. Here's your Easter egg. If you want the golden vector, it's going to be pretty easy. I'll show you how to do it here. So for base building and things like that, and to manipulate some files, and to be an advanced user, and to go in to do some file manipulation within your game files, up here in this second tab, it's Edit, and you can see that we have some options at the top. It says Edit Raw JSON. So the JSON file is going to be a certain type of file format that games use, and we are going to come in there and be able to manipulate it within this. This is just going to read the files. So I am in here now, and a lot of stuff is in here, but for right now we're only going to play with our player state data, the first file over here on the left hand side. This is where a lot of the cool things are. You can watch some other videos now that you have the save editor. I have some more advanced techniques and things that you can do. I'm just going to run down some possibilities here real quick and then show you how to get the golden vector. You can see you got pets, you got eggs. We can come in here and manipulate pets. I've got a video on that and their eggs. But down here at the very bottom, we can see we have, well, let's go up here for a minute. Here, persistent player bases. If you're in Blender, this is where you'd go for all your bases. Here's all the files for my bases, and not only my bases, but wherever I'm at. If there's people in there, their bases are in there too as well. And we're going to go down here a little bit further into ship ownership, and we'll go to line 0 here, and we can see I got a fighter. I'm trying to show you the well, it seems like it doesn't have it, so I'm actually just going to add it in there. So in ship ownership, I clicked on my first ship, and we can see that the line number 4 here, it says file name, models, common, spacecraft, fighters. If we wanted to take this and make it a golden vector, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to line 4, I'm going to hit delete. I'm going to come down here into this other file. I have a golden vector text right here. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to copy this. I'm going to control C it. I'm going to exit out of that window. I'm going to come back here on line 4 and I'm going to just hit control V. Hit anything over here and hit save, and I'm going to back out. Now my first ship that I have in slot 1 will be a golden vector. And hit save data, because we just saved a whole bunch of stuff. And if you make any stray marks or anything, especially within the JSON file, just hit no and restart. Alright, that pretty much covers all your basics and a few extra add-ons for advanced stuff at the very end. We do have some more videos on that, so go check those out. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry for the long-winded video, but a save editor is very, very powerful. Have a wonderful day and travels. Bye.